I am ordering all bars and restaurants in the state of Illinois to close to the public as of the close of business Monday night.
I signed an executive order directing Arizonans to stay home.
We are directing that all bars, nightclubs, wineries, brew pubs, and the like be closed in the state of California.
All non-essential businesses in New Jersey will be asked to close.
We're so used to seeing LA's famous bumper-to-bumper traffic, but take a look at this LA freeway during rush hour yesterday. Virtually empty compared to what it's usually like in New York's Grand Central Terminal. Normally the busy gateway to the city is almost empty during this new era.
So why, back a couple of weeks ago, you closed state parks and people have been arrested for using them. A man was arrested for sitting alone on the beach. Tell me why that poses a danger. And again, on what scientific basis did you make that decision?
I actually don't have the specifics as to why that happened. I meant congregation at state and county parks.
The Bill of Rights, as you well know, protects Americans' right, enshrines their right to practice their religion as they see fit and to congregate together, to assemble peacefully. By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights in issuing this order? How do you have the power to do that?
That's above my pay grade, Tucker. So I wasn't thinking of the Bill of Rights when we did this.
Did the framers of the Constitution fail to add an 11th Amendment to the Bill of Rights saying, oh, by the way, none of this counts if we get sick?
The Constitution applies in good times and in bad. There is no pandemic exception to the Constitution. There's no emergency provision or trigger in the Constitution. The rights articulated in the Constitution are guaranteed.
Do Americans really understand the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to our Constitution? Hey, does Congress understand them? Read them, my friend. And there's a common thread in all 10 of them. Not one of them limits your power as a citizen. Not one. In fact, they were all written to spell out more exactly what you can do and to expressly spell out what the government cannot do. You see, the Bill of Rights are there to tell you yes and to tell the government no. It can't tell you, not the government, can't tell you to shut up. It can't tell you how, when, or why to pray or worship. It cannot keep you from gathering with your friends for a lawful purpose.
So the rights of everyone listening to us now to tell the government to go to hell is an absolute, personal, fundamental liberty that the government cannot punish you for exercising. And your right peaceably to gather with others to deliver the same type of message is similarly guaranteed. But those who run the government, every one of whom has taken the same oath that I once took when I became a judge, that everybody who works for the government, from the president to a school board janitor, from a governor to every cop on the street, and that oath is to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, which includes all the amendments, the first 10 of which are the Bill of Rights. You, my dear friend, burst this bubble last week when you asked the governor of my home state, Governor Phil Murphy, did you consider that you might be nullifying the Bill of Rights? And he responded, I'm paraphrasing, the Bill of Rights, that's above my pay grade. Now, he either thought that was funny or he was being serious. It absolutely wasn't funny, it was deplorable. And if he meant it, he has no business being the governor of a state because he's violating the oath that he took when he became governor.
You're basically violating the contracts clause of the Constitution. It forbids states from impairing the obligation of contract. And if you need to leave your home in order to fulfill a contractual obligation, employer, employer, otherwise, this prevents that from happening.
Over in New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio doesn't seem to have drones just yet. He may, but for now he's got the next best thing. 8 million potential snitches all working for him. De Blasio has ordered his citizens to spy on their neighbors and report their neighbors if they behave in unapproved ways.
When you see a crowd, when you see a line that's not distanced, when you see a supermarket that's too crowded, anything, you can report it right away so we can get help there to fix the problem. And now it's as simple as taking a photo. All you got to do is take the photo and put the location with it, and bang, send a photo like this, and we will make sure that enforcement comes right away.
Needless to say, it should make you very nervous when politicians leverage your fear to make themselves more powerful. It ought to terrify you when they start arresting people for the crime of disagreeing with them.
In Houston, Governor, if you can believe this, they're threatening to punish people for not wearing a mask. Meanwhile, in Washington State, they're going to let a serial killer. They're one vote away from letting a serial killer out because of COVID-19. So you go to jail for not wearing a mask, but if you kill 4 dozen women because of COVID-19, we might let you out. That is irrational.
The whims of our political leaders are now unquestioned law. Dissent has been banned, and that ban is relentlessly enforced by the willing stooges in our media who have finally stopped pretending they don't hate you.
If I'm going to imprison you or fine you for not wearing a mask, why can't I hold you down and vaccinate you against the flu this fall? I mean, you don't want the flu and COVID-19, so can I involuntarily vaccinate you? Can I show up at your house and make sure you're doing your burpees and your planks and your jumping jacks, because obesity and COVID-19 don't go well together? Where does it stop?
Our system was designed to make sure that the government is your servant and that you never become the servant or the slave of the government.
Whenever local officials, county officials, state governors, or federal bureaucrats decide there is sufficient reason to suspend the Constitution, they will not hesitate to do so.